Welcome all to Inside Leverage Show with the Inside Leverage crew here at Five Reasons Sports. What's going on, everyone? French, Wally, what's good with y'all boys?
What's going on, man? I'm over here losing sleep over offensive line, man. You know how it is.
we'll get to that pretty soon. But before we do, I just want to make sure that to sign up for prizepicks.com, the official fantasy sports partner of Five Reasons Sports, legal in the state of Florida. Sign up with the code 5 and make your first 5 play, and Prize Picks will give you $50 more to play. No strings attached. So remember, use the code 5, that's FIVE, and you can get $50 more to play. No string attached. So Prize Picks, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Listen, we here. Initial 53 yesterday, adjustments today.
Is it me?
Am I lagging?
For me, it is. So maybe it's me. I don't know. This thing is interesting.
Oh man.
No, you both sound great. Go ahead, McKay.
Yeah. For today, we made a couple adjustments. We'll kind of talk about it. I'm gonna start with you, Wally. We haven't heard from you yesterday. I know you had things to do. What your initial thoughts on the 53? How'd you feel about some of the additions? O line, D line, linebackers. What are your thoughts?
Listen. It's time to file. We need to release all the players throw away the season because Driscoll wasn't kept on this team. We can't protect Tua. It's really bad right now. Hey man, listen. I'm having a good time watching people stress out. I think for the first time this Dolphin team has layers and on top of layers. Top that you'd like to be at, but the three choices team, they had no idea what you were talking about, and it shows the lack of depth of some people that have. So I don't know, man.
I mean, I like where we're at, man. I like where we're at. I like the cuts that were made. I mean, a lot of cuts were in prison, and like we said, and what like we heard today, it's not a finished process. It's not a finished process. So I mean, we got to just keep milling at it. And y'all know, I don't know how far you want me to steer it right, because I'm about to take the car and go right mechanic.
Hey, listen, man, this is a free, no structure really. We kind of just talk about it because, we talked about it yesterday in our podcast. Be sure on the lookout for that. And then you can kind of see where we're at with this one. But, we talked about a lot of what we liked, what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, in your opinion, go ahead and go ahead and go to the right. What you feeling right now, man? What you thinking?
I'm just saying, the concept of what we have right now specifically with this offense and this defense, and one of the points I was alluding to earlier, because on this show we allude to a few things. Shut up, Chad. But I want to allude to a few things. When we talk about where this roster is at and where we look at possible deficiencies and with the roster, we also got to look at what we do have. If we had the offensive line that you guys say you want, we wouldn't have key pieces, whether it's left tackles, whether it's pass rushers, or whether it's even veterans that we have under contract. Everything comes at a cost. And even if we talk about, in the draft, we could have designated that second pick and gotten a guard or something like that. Let's play that magical game of let's draft in that second pick instead of drafting Paul, and you draft a guard. However that guard center combo is this season, it really doesn't matter, because once we get towards the end of this season, the one thing we are talking about, especially with T-Stat and Lamb, is a left tackle. So do you really, being Chris Greer, want to go into next season looking for a left tackle? And we're not talking about drafting the left tackle, because depending on how the season simulates, People are going to want instant right now gratification. So you're going out paying for some guy that you could have had drafted and under under a rookie deal for 4+ years with the franchise tag, as opposed to spending premium dollar. So you can't sacrifice tomorrow for today is kind of what I'm saying in that. And that's a lot of with this roster where we're looking at. You're not going to sacrifice tomorrow for today, which is where we're at today. The roster is where it's at. We're going into week 1 with Jacksonville. And if you want me to keep it a thou mechanic, what they were saying in spaces is, oh, the Jags got one of the most formidable defensive lines, which the Jags do got a stout defensive front. But we gonna see they got to go out there and earn it. And all I'm saying is, if these guys perform how we know they can and how they've shown us they can perform, specifically the offensive side of the ball, we're gonna be right where we need to be, because we've seen that defense biting. We've seen that defense with some teeth.
Well, I mean, listen, I know I had a little crash moment yesterday on the space, and reflecting on it, man, sometimes it's just best for people to see it. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm just saying, like, see the outcome of the season and how the old line will perform. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm right or whether they're right, we're just gonna have to see it at the end of the day. But when you look at it, you always have to point the question: why are these guys are here? You know what I'm saying? Why are they here? So you ask why they're here. You get updates on training camp. You watch film, however you watch film, to the best of your knowledge, and you see things, and you say, okay, does he look good here? Does he look good there? And it can't just be one or two reps. It has to be the total amount of reps he had, the good and the bad, and the in between. And you got to compare that, and then you got to evaluate that way and see what the coaches, why, and try to justify why the coaches want this guy here. If you can't justify it, then of course they're wrong, and you can believe how you believe. But that's how I try to approach things. You know what I'm saying? I don't just see 2 highlight clips and say, oh, that's it. No, I need to see the whole thing, and I need to see what's the responsibility of what. Come on, man. I'm gonna fight through the screen. I need to see what the responsibility for each and every guy, because it doesn't take one person in the offensive line. It takes a group. If you have to double team, are you doing your job? Are they doing their job? And if they're not doing the job, did it cause you to not do your job? Those are questions you got to ask, but some people don't do that. They don't look into that. So I don't know.
Wally, let me throw you an alley-oop, because I think you mentioned this in earlier, and I think it might be slipping from my mind with the way you mentioned it. But you were saying something to the point of, oh man, I forgot what you're about to say, because I wanted to give you credit for the point.
Bars out here. I just be dropping bars out here.
But
bars.
Something to the fact of kind of it'll come to me. But go ahead, Wally. Go ahead, Wally. You're part. You can spit a bar.
I think it doesn't matter what any of the players do once these people have their mind made up, because I was in a space.
That's so true.
I was in a space today, and they're talking about, oh, the offensive line is gonna be this bad. Yo, do you know that offensive line that was this bad had Connor Williams for like 4 or 5 games?
That's actually what I was gonna tell you. When you were mentioning because everybody keeps mentioning how we played against good, but it was a point in those games where the offensive line had them against the ropes, and there were points in those games where we were doing what we needed to, and the coaching went away from it. You can't put offensive line.
I would go back to the game. Look, I talk a lot of trash about Raheem Mostert, right? But you could talk about that Buffalo game when he was running, the offensive line was humming, and we went away from that. You could say the offensive line was that, but that was Mike. That was terrible. Like pocket awareness. You know, we talk about Ryan Tannehill levels of pocket awareness. I feel like Mike, that was Raheem Mostert could have probably had 200 yards against the Bills. Ball control, everything that we never had against the Bills, and Mike went away for that. Uh, 2 years ago, the Chargers game, they were running the ball well. And so I go back to my other point. How people are worried about the offensive line. Last year's offensive line that was so bad that had us ranked on everything was missing like 3 or 4 starters throughout their entire year, and people playing at our position. So if this year we counter that with a starting Brewers center, because let's be honest, all of us wanted Connor Williams back, but Connor Williams was gone for 10 plus games. So let's just say we have a center that could actually be good because these guys lack them for 15, 17 games plus the playoff run. So now you're worrying about one guy. The worry is Neil Mockenberg, right? We believe in if you believe in Robert Jones, some people might might like Driscoll, which got cut, and he's not better than Robert Jones, contrary to what we were trying to tell you. But if the only issue is Liam, what happens if he do get Isaiah Wynn? Like I told you guys, I was kind of like alluding that he might just be here for 10 games. And like you said, French, why bring him out week 7? Bring him back week 10 for a nice 9-10 run. You know what I mean? And the Patrick Paul and like I don't know how people don't see the vision, but they claim to know things. But the problem is that people are playing Madden, and in Madden you don't got no salary cap. And when the game is going back, you can quit. Ain't no quitting life. Ain't no quitting $1 million position. it's all. I don't know,
man. Hey, what like Trey mentioned KC game the last 4 minutes.
You cooking?
Yeah, Raheem was cooking. Yeah, we ran what 2 to 3 straight runs, and it was big runs. I just didn't understand why we didn't continue doing it.
I don't understand that method, and also what he was doing. He will go away from Raheem Mostert to go to Jeff Wilson.
Right. And now that you have a Jalen Wright, will he still be comfortable to do that? When Mostert runs the 3 straight, you can still have that same production. Now you got Jalen Wright, who I know he's a rookie, but he looks like he's out there like a vet running and having that vision. So there is a lot of things, man. Real quick, I wanted to point out. So it looks like Connor Williams played a total of 9 games. He was here for the first 3 weeks, and then he was out week 4. Played week 5, then didn't play until
he didn't finish
9.
week 5. He didn't finish that game.
Exactly. Didn't finish the game. Didn't play till week 9. Then he missed week 10. He played week 11.
And he didn't finish that game. And he didn't finish, bro. He didn't.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and then you have Isaiah Wynn missing games. I can pull it up for you real quick, but it didn't feel like we had the continuity for the same 5 to play consistently. And then you got Armstead. But despite that, you still was able to run the ball. You still was able to throw a bunch of yards, get 2 receivers at 1,000 yards. You still was the number 1 offense. And I know that we're not going to put it all on the offensive line, but it had to play some part in it.
I mean,
despite
but why we can't? They the ones touching the ball.
People don't want to accept that. People are looking at, we were the 31st win rate, blah, 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 but yet we still have to block and we still have to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? And despite the different lineups, like 10, 13 plus lineups, we still was able to be number 6, number 5 in rush offense. I mean, how are you trying to weigh it? It's like we're trying to put a narrative by looking at the total negative of the stat of win rate, but not look at the positive and acknowledge that, hey, we still did this despite the offensive line struggling. You know what I'm saying? So
I want to discuss this because I think that people are I think people are kind of seeking for groups or pockets to find friends and comfort and be miserable. Because this kid was telling me, I don't know if he's a kid. He sounded like a kid. And I mean no disrespect. He was telling me, I was trying to make a point, like our offense is not a one-read offense. If If you take Tyreek, the number one player, what about his peers against the Chiefs? You can say what you want, but he was a no-show against the Chiefs. That fumble was his. That was him. Those timely drops. Yes, you could say that 1,700 yards, the touchdowns, all that. But when it mattered the most, those guys that we depend on weren't there. You know who was there? The offensive line, surprisingly.
Every play.
And this is why it baffles me. Do we have Liam Eichenberg here? Yes. Are these the guys you want? No. I would have drafted Coleman. I would have drafted BB. I would have signed Coleman. I would have drafted Matt Lee. The list is extensive. We would have wanted to say them out. We done our homework, but the team does not view that way. And to their point, we were not limited because our defense, our offensive line. I'm sorry, but that game on the line, game was still there on a post. Where was Waddle at? What did Waddle do with a wide open post? What did Tyreek do with a wide open bomb? What did he do?
And Wally, to me, let's go ahead and put it out there. This season is going to hinge not on the offensive line, but based on the weapons doing their job, and that's on the offensive side of the ball, and that's on the secondary.
Dude,
How many times were one of the things I keep commending this cornerback and secondary, when those guys do catch the ball, they're still getting in there making contested strips on the wide receiver, which are incomplete passes. And if we're seeing that in the season in combination with cornerbacks turning to locate the ball, that's when you start getting back to that amoeba style exotic defense that we know that these guys can play with. When you see in this Weaver style defense that they're playing with kind of that fast place twitchiness, you even see Tendo out there twitching. Come on.
But I think French it for the offensive line, they just need to be healthy. That's it.
That's
If
it.
we can stay healthy and let the guys who are there be consistent, have the gel and the continuity, we will be all right. Despite like the system is predicated for the offensive line to succeed. You have to meet a certain minimum to succeed, but if you do meet that minimum, you're good to go. But you can't meet that minimum if you're constantly moving and shifting. But we did that, and we still were successful. Now, you know, however you want to look at it with the playoffs and how you want to blame which or what, at the end of the day, I think it's a collective and not just one specific thing. You know what I'm saying? So
I think the brass, if you may, is aware of what's happening, right? Because going back to the point I was alluding earlier, that this gentleman was telling me that, I was telling him once it took Tyreek out, there wasn't a second option. Yeah, as much as you want to depend on Waddle, but there's injuries due to the fact that our team was really, really Waddle, Tyreek, A-Chain, Mostert, and it was top heavy. There was no balance. And to our detriment. So now, which I've seen a little bit of, and I don't know if you guys could probably test to this. We have a second, third, and fourth options, even with this offensive line that you guys hate so much, because you saw Tua drive against essentially a number one defense without Tyreek, without Waddle, and whoop, drop it in the bucket. My point is, if they manhandle Tyreek off the line and then take option number one, I am hoping that Mike McDaniel developed this 2.3 seconds that Tua has fast enough with Tua. He showed he could do it. He just needs to have the option. Give him the option. Give him a Jonnu Smith. Give him a Doran Smythe. Give him a Waddle. Give him a Malik Washington. Give him a Jalen Wright. Give him an Achain and Jalen Wright to get in the backfield almost, or however you want to see it. But it's options. It's a leak. It's a French, that tight end play that you're talking about. That tight end play off the blitz. What is he doing, French? What is he doing? What is he doing on that? What is he like, bro? You know it's a touchdown. It's a touchdown or first on every blitz.
Or at least 30 yards. At least.
Bruh.
Yeah, man. It's and there's times I don't know why people don't even think or see games where Tua is having a is the block is being held, but he can't go to his second or third option. Those I've seen those games too. Now to debate how often that happens, you got to really go look and watch the film and see that part. But there was moments where the offensive line were holding their own and he couldn't find his second or third option, and it happens. That's just part of the game. Real quick, French. OG asked what was the flaws of the. I'm paraphrasing here. What were the flaws of the first team offense in preseason? So there was a little bit of a like they showed a clip of where some blocking assignments were missed between the interior offensive line. I don't some of it did fall on Liam, some of it did fall on other guys. And then we didn't really have a good running game. So the protection though was great. If you look at the PFF numbers, whoever follows that, the all majority of the guys, especially the first teamers that had really good numbers pass blocking, the run blocking was a little bit average to below average, but
But that's
something
gonna take
they
the
were just
longest.
working.
That's
Yeah,
gonna take the longest. Isn't that?
yeah.
Isn't you? I'm an offensive line guru with my eyesight and stuff like that. But you the center. You're the one that you and let's not forget that's not the starting center. Yo, for what we saw, listen, I'm good. I'm really good. And like I said, if the Armageddon button has to be pushed, we have 22 million cap space that could be manipulated. We can create more money. We have draft picks.
Don't we have compensatory picks coming?
That's what I'm saying. We got picks, and believe it or not, we got assets we could trade. You listen, y'all gonna hate me, but you could trade Akbar.
Yeah, man. And like OG said, man, it doesn't fall on one group. It always falls on a collective. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I did there? You wanted me to go do a smite. You thought I was gonna go smite. You thought, but I gave you the little curveball. Little curveball. We give you the Akbar.
I ain't going nowhere.
No, and OG was right. Brewer and Teasted were not in there, but still, we were able to move the ball. We were able to pass protect, and we scored. Now, the running game struggled a little bit. We didn't really get initial push on the interior, but you know what? Preseason is all about testing and trying different blocking schemes to see the limits of your team and how you move forward moving when regular season starts. So while we didn't get a bunch of running games for the first team for who was there with Tua, it's not a big deal in my opinion because at the end of the day they're gonna figure out, okay, you're not good like doing this, let's do this instead. That's gonna help everybody out so we can make plays. So I mean, people just freak out for no reason sometimes.
Look, I like I told y'all boys, man. I saw. Speaking of Brewer, I saw what he when he was. I mean, obviously I'm in the stands, but I saw his hand, and I told you he'll probably be out with at that time, which would be a month with a week to spare. And you see now he has a week to spare. Now you see his hand is out. He's probably gonna have a wrapped up, really wrapped up. But he's playing next week. He still has next week. We don't play Sunday. We play the week after that. He'll be fine. T said he'll be fine. And you know what else will be fine? We'll have some clarity on who's going to be a starting right guard. And right now, you know who the starting right guard is, right? Liam Eichenberg. Left guard is Robert Jones. And if you're sitting here and we last year, this is exactly what we had last year, and it never came into fruition. Remember, last year we had Robert Hunt, we had Austin Jackson, we had Connor Williams, we had Isaiah Wynn and Teaston. And the question was the Liam Eichenberg position, right? So now, and that never actually got into fruition outside of the first game. So now, barring any crazy injuries, we're really going to have, again, the same deficit. And if you're telling me that depleted line, because people are going back to I can't predict the future. If you're telling me that line was that bad and we got better and we have more weapons and there's a way to adapt, And I go back to the Peyton Manning Super Bowl with the Broncos. That we used to get so mad because we didn't have an offensive line. You remember that that was Ryan Tannehill, and we used to get mad because we didn't have an offensive line and he had no time. And then we used to see when we played I believe we played the Broncos one of those games, and we were like, "Yo, look at Peyton Manning. He gets the ball out, passes off at 2.3 seconds type of stuff." And we were like, "Yo, how come Ryan Tannehill can't do that?" So you're telling me Tua can't do that at an earlier age than Peyton Manning? Would it believable? Now I'm not saying he has the process of Peyton Manning, but he has a piece.
Listen. It in the third year of your offense, you're gonna see defenses, and you're gonna see your play, and you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be open." When you see motion, and you see the cornerback or the slot or whoever's guarding the slot man is moving. Oh yeah, this guy's gonna be open. Sometimes you just know, bro, the first read based on the defense. One of the 3 yards per carry guys was mentioning about that, about how I'll find the clip. Cam Newton was talking about how you can already know when what based on a call that this safety is going down. This is gonna be open, so I know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? You already know that, and that's what Tua was doing. So now that you added more offensive weapons, a tight end, a third option in a receiver, and some young talent, especially Chain, the running back, who's going to be doing more passing catches. You gonna eat. You gonna understand what's going on. Salute, my boy. What's going on,
What's going on,
Bo? What's going on, my boy?
Hey, listen.
I'm gonna give you a call.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That French. You remember the 2 fullback situation. You're gonna do 3 running backs in the same at the field. Monster, A-Chain, and Ingold. Think about that. You could swap that out. Look what
Mechanic. Did I just not say that in the last podcast?
Mechanic, was I here? Was I here?
This is why you wasn't here. You was stealing. Somebody call. Hey, I need to. Hey, word on the street. I need to protect my intellectual property because they stealing my material.
That's what we doing. So I don't be thinking about. I don't be seeing the vision.
I'm gonna call my lawyer Manny. I'm gonna call my lawyer, bro, because
it's crazy.
YSL treatment.
That's crazy. Listen, it's Mechanic. It's crazy because this man here, he's a thief. We did our work. Remember the days of Jesse Davis? Remember the days of Jesse Davis when these guys are over here destroying the offensive line, but me and you are here taking the lump. I'm over here, Austin Jackson, Pancake Jackson. Now he trench gang. So now look how funny he's trench gang, but he want to talk about the running backs when the running backs are weapons.
Wow. The switcheroonie. What's going on?
How you gonna tell me about my running backs and their weapons? You don't have no weapons there. Not even during Smite. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do right now, French. I don't know. You are such a liar. You're a thief. You know the vision of having Achon and Jaden Wright and Alec Engel and a level personnel. It's gonna be a beautiful sight with John Smith. Just woo! Just think about it. Woo! It's gonna be a beautiful thing. The weapons gang, friend. The weapons gang. It's a beautiful thing in 2.3 seconds.
Welcome to the party, French.
I was gonna say to the people listening,
wow,
in the audio medium, this isn't deja vu. I know you might have heard some of this. I know you might have heard some of this.
Right.
I'm just time stamping it right now, so you know this isn't a dream.
You time stamping a lot of things, French.
This is still reality.
I want to understand how you caping for my weapons. Go ahead.
And this reality, you notice none of them took the side of the trenches. None of them took the side of the defense, and none of them took the side of the special teams. And you see, when I took the side of special teams, the special team rule changed. Man, listen here, bro.
What?
True statement.
Hey, listen, friends.
special teams is DBs. Who got it? Who's doing the DBs?
Actually, it's linebackers, which is why we kept an extra one.
DBs? Neil?
Tyndall,
Elijah Campbell?
Tyndall's not an extra one, man. He belonged in there.
And Tyndall, you ain't even gonna take that. You ain't sitting Tyndall. You're not.
I mean, I already did background research on Tyndall last season from a source.
Mechanic.
What source? What source?
I can't give up my sources.
I gotta
you
talk
these
to
sources, man.
You gotta talk to HR. I gotta talk to HR because you're doing.
I gotta talk to these sources to give what kind of information you're giving French here.
I gotta talk to the production team. I gotta talk to Manny because what are you doing, my man? Like these blanket statements you make and these thievery, like it's like right here. I'm sitting from you. French, you might be a banker. Are you a corporate banker, a hedge funder, something like that? Because wow.
Well, real quick, let's go back. Let's go back to a little bit of football because the topic of Twitter and the biggest news was the Driscoll move. And to be honest, I didn't personally like the move, but I understand why people won't like the why. What is your reasoning or how you feel the team made the decision the way they did? Go ahead, Wally.
So, French, would you like to go first since you're the Trench gang? Yeah, I'm an online guru. We have a center here, but since you're so knowledgeable, we want you to go first. But we won't steal off your takes. You go. The floor is yours, my friend. Go ahead, my good sir.
I got one statement, and I'll let you have the floor. Everybody ain't gonna make it. Everybody ain't gonna make it. Hey, listen, baby. Hey, listen. Don't take it personal. I'm not saying you can't come, but you just can't come today. Listen.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, Driscoll was here to play right tackle, right guard, and potentially center. He wasn't counting on Mayer being this good. We weren't counting. Listen, and let's keep it a buck. Harlow would have ate that man's turkey because Harlow was having a hell of a camp, and we wasn't counting on Patrick Paul being a revelation at left tackle right there. Now you could flirt with the possibility of having Lamb at right tackle, which is the better option in a pinch. So you could, if let's say T-State goes down, boom, you could put Lamb or Patrick Paul. You can't put Driscoll anywhere there. And Vita Vea took that man out of the club. He took him out of the club. I ain't gonna say look, that's Vita Vea. He'll do it. You can do it at a 20 out of 20. You know what I'm saying? But when you have, like I said, we talked about this last year. If there's a vet and a rookie, and if it's even, I'm leaving and I'm taking the rookie.
Oh my goodness, where you heard that from?
You that's your bar? You can't say that's your bar.
Mechanic, did I not use that yesterday? Mechanic.
No.
Did I not?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Wally. He did say it. If even, I'm leaving.
Let me ask you a question. How many times we've been talking about this with Tyndall, Easy E? He be stealing my stuff. I'm a bargenary. It's just bars. She's like a visionary, but a bargenary. See how I just did that? Magic.
When he's saying bar mechanic, he's referring to Mo from The Simpsons.
Oh,
not Mo,
wow!
not Mo and the listener.
I thought you were talking about Mo the homeboy. That's crazy. Shout out to Mo.
Not Mo the homie. He's talking about Mo from The Simpsons, sitting at the bar.
Shout out to Mo, man. You trying to take the shot away from Mo. Go ahead, mechanic. Give us a take, man.
So here's my thing. Like, okay. All right. Lester Cotton. Let's focus on him real quick. He's been with us last year, got experience with the offensive line. He's here again. They gave him a shot. He did his thing. They started him at left guard in practice, and while you can attest, he didn't really look good at left guard. But they put him at right guard, and then they put him at right guard in preseason. And he had a 54 overall in the first game, 47.8 run blocking, 80.3 pass blocking. This is out of 17 snaps, okay? Second game. This is 11 snaps, 49 overall, 48.3 run blocking, 75.6 pass blocking. And then the last game, 18. This man had a day that day. 72% overall, 67 run blocking, 80.1 pass blocking. Now, Driscoll has been playing center, right guard, right tackle. Overall, he was at a 64. His pass blocking from week 1 was 73, 63 the second week, 75 the third. Run blocking is actually far better overall than Leicester, 66.7, 59.8, 49.0. And then a combination of center in the mix. So I'm confused. Why? Go ahead, Wally.
Remember when they tried to talk to us about Liam last year, when Liam was making all these moves, someone called him a jack of all trades, master of none.
Right.
It applies to Driscoll.
When
we first got Driscoll, we really thought Driscoll in that right guard position. Some people still think today, which Steve by himself thinks that Driscoll is better than Robert Jones at right guard, and I think Robert Jones is a Pro Bowler at right guard. So that's the fall. The team, if Butch Berry couldn't make you something when you come from an elite line assemble of the Eagles, those that comes a little bit of pedigree when people come out of there. Because if you're a backup there, you might have a little son because they draft them, they make them, they build them, they mold them. So he came out here with a little pedigree, and you can't have people like Harlow once again. Harlow, Mary, Cotton. Cotton looked terrible at practice, but he's a gamer. Driscoll looked great at practice, but he's not a gamer. And it matters a lot when you get in between them lines. He didn't flash nothing. If you cut on the tape from Driscoll of the game, you're not gonna be enamored. You caught at the practice. Oh my God, this guy's his second coming.
It's just interesting. Yeah, I will hope that they try to bring him back to practice squad. But in your opinion, Frenchie, what do you think? I thought he was good. I thought he looked good. I thought when he played right tackle, he showed a little bit. There were times he was getting pushed back, so maybe it's not the best position for him, but definitely right guard.
Think about it. If you're the Dolphins, would you spend your money on him for a practice squad spot, given he's a veteran, so the minimum is different? Or would you pay a guy like Isaiah Hayes, or Chase Hines, or Matos, whatever these guys are? You don't have to pay him, and chances are he's gonna get a call. Maybe not now, maybe 2 weeks later, he's gonna get a call from somebody. Maybe the Bills, maybe the Patriots. He's gonna get a call. He's gonna get another chance. You can bet that. And
what you say? You get another chance, it just won't be with me.
Yeah, and a guy like Cotton probably is not gonna get another chance. But I'll tell you one thing: Cotton's he's incumbent backup next season. He's Liam's replacement next season, if you may.
Don't start that.
Oh yeah. Liam has to have a Pro Bowl season to be in
this season.
Yeah. If not, let's say he has a good season, solid season, they're still going to draft the position.
Almost like Raekwon, almost like the same situation as Raekwon.
But I feel Raekwon didn't really show anything. I mean, he had moments, but it's like it wasn't consistent.
And Liam is almost the same. They give you a body and they give you a post, but other than the body and the post, they're not wowing you on.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, we could think of that one play off the top of my mind that Raekwon flashed in a game and he had like a sack or something like that. And like, that's literally the only time that I can remember.
He had that one run stop. He had that one run stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all know it was like in the like. So Liam in my mind's in that same position. He, and even Raekwon had somewhat of a better season, but it wasn't enough to save him.
I do agree with Chad here, and shout out to Chad. I do think Liam does need to just focus on right guard and let Mayer work as the center too.
Or you mean the team needs to let him do that?
The team, yes, sir. You're right. Because at the end of the day, what we think is different from what they think. But y'all can't be mad when we telling y'all what they thinking. You feel me? So I feel hopefully the team, and I feel like they do because Chris Greer mentioned in his interview, his presser, about how a center and what he does and the responsibility he's given. And as an undrafted rookie, Mayer seemed to have done that, which means that they might have gained the trust of Mayer to be that guy, right? So he's on this team. He could have been cut, but he wasn't. They cut the vet. So that means something to me. So if hoping that's the case, Mayer becomes the second string center, Liam focuses on being the mainly right guard, and then a center in a pinch. You know what I'm saying?
I hope
Too.
that's the wave, because believe Mayer doesn't have position versatility.
No,
he doesn't. He's a center. He's a true center. For those of you crying about a true center, and he could be the center of the future.
Yes.
You could walk away from Brewer next season. I believe so. It won't be that crazy to do. So even though he signed Brewer for what? He signed, give him a 3-year deal, right?
I think so, but could be a 2-year out. Let me check the numbers. But yeah, man, if Mayer excels, I can see that.
My whole thing is Brewer's not ready. Is a team better with Mayer at center, Liam at right guard, and having Robert Jones at left guard, than having Liam at center, having Robert Jones at right guard, left guard, and having Cotton at right guard.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, but like you said, and this, I'm gonna hate this point, and I said it last season. Chris Greer, this is almost like when you playing spades and you got to let the table come round towards the end, and we just gotta see who got the trumps, and but in that is strategy and strategic. You can't just throw out that big card because you got it, because it might be a bunch of little cards out there and you're wasting them. So in my mind, Chris Greer is letting the game come to him, because all these dudes that want to get paid, everybody that want to get, you got to perform. And these draft picks, you even see with the draft picks that we had, the guys that we paid already. If you almost like Tyreek, if you want to get paid, you better keep performing. You can't regress.
So it looks like with Brewer, they're essentially going to give him the 2-year work, and then they have a potential out in 2026. So at that point, you have an Andrew Mayer you can evaluate and see where he's at. And as he progresses, he'll probably get starts in garbage time, or if injury happens, depending how they feel his growth is. So yeah, man, that we'll see Brewer in the next couple years and see how it goes. They could possibly let him go next year, but it's going to be a $7 million cap hit. So I don't know if that's an ideal as opposed to a $3 million.
Speaking of, I wanted to touch on the IR and the PUP list.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference, the PUP list and the IR. Man, all these terminologies, they throw you off, man. But we only get to bring 2 players out of IR, but there is no such thing for the PUP list. So Isaiah Wynn does not count as a PUP list. And I think OBJ is a PUP list as well.
Right.
I think the only IR players we have is Craig Kraft and Cam Smith.
Yeah.
So we can get.
I think Wynn is on a PUP. You say, right?
Yeah, Wynn is on a PUP.
Okay,
PUP,
perfect.
Basically, PUP is before training camp. IR is doing training camp. So gotcha. If you come injured before training camp, that's a PUP. If you get injured during training camp and then you got to step off, you're in IR. So that's basically how it works. So I ain't worried. When I didn't know that, I was a little scared, man, because I'm like, yo, we ain't gonna get Cam Smith, we ain't gonna get OBJ, we gotta get all these guys back. We still gonna have to move roster spots, but yeah, we get those guys back. That's
when I made these points.
No, third. We're not going to do this. You made the point. You made the point for Connor Williams. Connor definitely did not do that.
When I talked about these guys on starting the season, and I made the hockey reference with Chad, making the hockey reference of stashing players. That way, as
you specifically spoke about Connor stashing a player, not nobody else.
Nobody else.
Mechanic.
Let's not do that.
I'm looking at the people. The people don't believe you, Mechanic. And if the people don't believe you, Mechanic,
stop looking at the podium and start looking at yourself and stop capping. That's what you need to stop doing. You need to stop capping because you was not specifically talking about the guys that are in there now. You were talking about one player, French. And where's that one player? He's gone.
I'm with you. I'm with you, and I told you I saw your vision. I remember having this conversation. I told you I saw your vision with Connor. You were absolutely right. We should have done that with Connor. Had we known. But if you think about it, he didn't want to play guard here.
He didn't want to do that at all.
He didn't want to play guard here. He wanted to be a center. So that move, you make it. They were supposed to resign him. If you want to talk about that, they were supposed to resign him when they had the chance, and that bridge was burnt. But with that being said, I still.
But hold on, Wally.
But no, I still would have signed them and drafted a guard and another center and would stash him just like you said.
But hold on. What would they have said if we would have signed Connor Williams and this would have happened going into this season with Connor Williams still?
They said that why we still have Liam, this line is still trash.
And we got a Connor Williams we gave a contract to, and got Liam as if we was having Liam as the starter. If we were having Liam as the starter.
You remember that? You remember what we were saying?
If we were having Liam as the starter and Connor Williams that got a contract and he was on the IRs, oh my!
But you remember when we had this conversation, right? Oh nah, Liam can't. I'm like, look, that's the only way. You have Liam as your backup center, as your center playing them games, and you bring back Connor off for injury. And I was with it. French talk about the stats. I was with it. But look, in hindsight,
we have no Brewer right now. We'd have Connor. I mean, Liam, literally as the center.
And a rookie, and some type of rookie, until week 10, something like that.
Back. And when will Connor be back?
And then we would have been like, oh nah, we're gonna have to release Connor after the season because he's injury prone.
And we paid him, bro. It'll be a catastrophe.
But hold on now, Connor is playing. Well, Connor's active, right? Isn't he signed to a like he's gonna be playing? He's not on PUP.
Is he on a PUP?
I don't know. I gotta look. We got them game 3.
I don't think so.
We got them game 3. That's September 22nd.
I don't think he's on a PUP. I think he's active.
On an active roster. Seattle 50. Let me see if I can pull up Seattle 53.
I'm looking at right now. I think he's in the roster.
He's how many centers? Is he the center?
I don't think he's the center, but I think he's going to compete for the center job.
And
the problem is it's bad timing at the end of the day. We didn't know what Connor was going to be. Oh my
goodness! So you're trying to tell me we will have T-Stead, Robert, maybe Robert Jones.
He's starting, and it's not questionable. On ESPN right now, he's starting.
Okay. He's gonna start.
I don't know if this is.
It's just bad time. It's just bad timing for us at the end of the day, bro. Like, we didn't know what the injury would be. We things just didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? So they had to move on quick.
When Chris,
we gonna see him week 3.
When Chris Greer does an amazing job, he does an amazing job. You want to hear Brewers gonna be better than Connor Williams? You can hit my line. You got French, the trench guy. You can hit my line. You want to make a little side, you know what I'm saying? But
you'll get a net.
Not Corey Brewer. Brewer's gonna be better than Connor Williams. Like if you're looking for our defense, our offense to take the next level, make the next step, Connor Williams wasn't getting to the second level. He was a nasty front of you zone. I'm gonna beat you off the line because I'm a dog. But Connor Williams is killing us, the illegal man down the field, and he wasn't getting to the second level. Brewer now, that second level for Brewer is elite, like elite. So I think Mike gonna find use of that. I don't think you guys see the vision.
Yeah, man. But man, any final thoughts before we go, man? It's a lot. It was good talking about this, man. A lot of the fan base is now in shambles, but I think it's gonna calm down once the season starts. They're gonna see how things roll. But any final thoughts before we head out?
Just be on the lookout for more content. French stealing my bars. I miss shows and French just out here, you know what I mean? Just stealing bars. Shout out to the practice squad. Is a nice practice squad with some veterans. Nick Needham, Easy E. I hope to see y'all in the 53 because you damn deserve it. And yeah, man, you guys are not GMs. You're not GMs. You can't even be you don't even know how to be quiet on offensive drive at the stadium. So you guys can't be GMs. So please just be a regular fan, bro. Play
At
man.
the end of the day. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for being hanging out with us, man. Y'all have a great day. Fins up.
Fins for the win, man. Fins for the win, man.
All righty.